What purpose is Senator from Eastern Fairfax, Senator Surovell, rise?
Point of personal privilege.
Senator's floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. I don't want to wade too much into the colloquy between the two leaders here. I'll just note a couple footnotes of mine. One that I believe Senator Stanley had at least 3 days' notice after he became aware that the firearm bills were on the docket. I wasn't in the middle of that conversation he had with the chairman of the Judiciary Committee, but he did have some notice. I also just want to point out, I got a text message from Henry Marsh who wanted me to remind everybody of the notice he got before his district got redrawn. In any event, just kidding. I don't know if Henry has my cell phone number, but on a happier note, or actually not happier note, I hope everybody here had a good weekend. I spent the weekend in a snowy Frisco, Texas. And if everybody's never noticed before, when I mourn, I wear purple. And today I'm wearing purple because of what happened on Saturday. So on behalf of the JMU Duke Caucus, I have a little report to give. For those of you who don't know, that's myself, Senator Hanger, Senator McDougal. We have an honorary member, Senator Obenshane, who kind of, sort of bleeds purple sometimes. Yeah, he pays tuition there, right. But on Saturday, the JMU football team made its fourth appearance in a national championship, the third time in 4 years, with 3 different coaches in the last 4 years, if you can believe that. It was an excellent game, I thought. The Dukes struck first on the board in the first possession. The Bison struck back. But for what I thought was a bogus pass interference call, which resulted in a touchdown and 2 trick plays, any one of those 3 things had occurred differently, we'd be doing a commending resolution later this session. But, the Dukes had won their last 14 games by an average of 30 points. They had an incredible season. North Dakota State, on the other hand, a very worthy rival, now has won 37 straight games. So they also became the first football college team to win 16 games in a season since Yale in 1894 with that victory that just happened. So their quarterback was unstoppable. He ended up winning the National Player of the Year for Division I AA FCS, and he was unstoppable. But I would just like to point out that notwithstanding the fact that Duke's lost, they still rank 3rd in national championships for team championships in Virginia. ODU is still number 1. You can believe that. 28 national championships because apparently they get credit for sailing. 15 national championships in sailing. UVA, of course, is 27. Apologize to William and Mary, which only has 2. George Mason only has 2. And Virginia Tech has a lot of individual championships, but not one single national championship, while JMU has 5 now. So maybe one of these days, William and Mary, Virginia Tech, Mason, some of the other guys will join the rest of us up there in the 5 club. But in the meantime, JMU's going to have to settle for 5 national championships. And it was a truly epic weekend. It was an awesome run by their team. And I think if you see anybody wearing purple today, make sure you give them a big hug.
What purpose is the senior senator from Fairfax, Senator Saslaw,
just a brief personal privilege with respect to William and Mary. I would remind everybody in here, Lou Holtz began his football coaching career at William and Mary. And he said the reason that he left, and this may have something to do with it, he said there were too many Marys and not enough Williams.
Who wants to follow that? For what purpose is the senator from Fairfax City, Senator Peterson, rise?
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise for 2 announcements.
Senator, has the floor.
Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, first announcement, tomorrow morning will be our initial Sunrise Caucus meeting. We'll be meeting at 7 a.m. at the Speaker's Conference Room. Myself and Delegate Paul Krizak are the co-chairs. This is a Bible study group that goes back 30-plus years. Some of the original founding members were Delegate Mary Christian, Delegate Vic Thomas, and a lot of other legends of this building. So I invite everyone of any faith, please come and join us. We'll be studying Kings of the Old Testament. I know that has no application to today, but we're studying them anyway. Second announcement.